Hey everybody, Jason here of GhostbustersNews.com, and as always, Ghostbusters News right here on YouTube. And over the past month, the official Ghostbusters YouTube channel has been releasing classic episodes of the real Ghostbusters. And while we've been featuring those episodes every single week on GhostbustersNews.com, I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe we should start reviewing those episodes right here on the Ghostbusters News YouTube channel. And while there's certainly a couple of other videos I have to make to get all caught up to date, today I thought we would take a look at Mrs. Rogers' Neighborhood, as this review was requested by Ghostbusters News Patreon member Jordan Hamilton. So as always, Jordan, I certainly thank you for the request. And if you'd like to check out this episode in its entirety, we're going to include a link right down below in the description where you can check it out over on the official Ghostbusters YouTube channel. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the episode. And as the episode begins, we see an empty plot of land that has a ghostly, almost storybook home materialize in it, complete with hedge bushes that would make Edward Scissorhand jealous. Back at the firehouse, the Ghostbusters are suffering from a severe drought of calls. To help further this point, Ray even brings out his old man rocking chair.
We haven't had one Ghostbusting call all week.
A phone call comes in, and Janine totally trolls the guys, showing how ruthless she can be.
Come on, what is it? Well,
what have we got?
What?
Casserole recipe for my sister.
The Ghostbusters eventually get another call, like an actual Ghostbusters call, leading them to the house that materialized earlier. And while we're talking about the house, I have to ask, what do you think the neighbors thought about it? Could you imagine going to bed one night with absolutely nothing in the plot of land next to your home, only to wake up the next morning to this? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the concerned neighbors who placed the call to the Ghostbusters.
Ow!
Man, the PKA meters in the real Ghostbusters, they weren't built to last.
Thank goodness you're here. Please come in. I'm Mrs. Rogers.
I mean, I probably would have fired. I know I would have fired. Wait a minute, as a kid, I never noticed this, but did they actually give Mrs. Rogers hair underneath her lower lip? I mean, I guess it could be wrinkles, but that looks like hair. Mrs. Rogers and her bird both freak out over all the recent paranormal happenings.
Oh, I just can't stand it here any longer. It's too horrible.
Leading to Ray driving her back to the firehouse to be with Janine and Slimer.
You're so kind, but please be careful.
Okay, so yeah, there's no doubt she's evil here. Just look at that face. But at the same time, there's also now no doubt that she's got one hairy underlip. Those are absolutely not wrinkles. This old lady, she needs to wax. A full investigation begins to happen, leading to several memorable moments, including the classic Watt routine.
Who said what?
What?
Did you say what?
Peter, I'm trying to work.
Say what?
I didn't say what.
Who did?
Did what?
Say what?
Man, I didn't say a word.
Yeah, right. Then who did?
Of course, Egon consults Tobin'S spirit guide and finds out they're dealing with a paranormal entity named Watt. During this time, Ray drops off Mrs. Rogers at the headquarters as she quickly asks for a tour of the firehouse, with Janine putting Slimer in charge of Mrs. Rogers' bird, Precious. And things don't go so well. While Janine shows Mrs. Rogers the containment unit, we get to see Mrs. Rogers' true form while Janine's back is turned. It's also heavily implied that Mrs. Rogers wants to release all the ghosts within the containment unit. Oh, and while we're at it, can I actually say that I prefer this form of Mrs. Rogers over the humanized version that comes with that, lower lip hair? Ugh. Ray finds his way back to the haunted house, much to his delight.
This is great. We've got a classic haunting here.
Egon gets the PK meter running, and then we're treated to, once again, another Watt routine.
The prime motivator is a demon named Watt.
Named what?
Watt.
I asked you first.
No, what is its name?
Don't ask me, ask Egon.
This'll show you what.
Huh?
Never mind. Let's just track it down.
Now, thanks to the aid of that PK meter, Egon believes he has actually found Watt, which leads to the Ghostbusters blasting Mrs. Rogers' dress.
There's nothing in here but Mrs. Rogers' dress.
Which from there leads to the aha moment of the episode.
Mrs. Rogers' dress is what?
No, Ray. Mrs. Rogers is what?
As the Ghostbusters try and leave to head back to the firehouse to confront Mrs. Rogers, the home has, well, other plans for them, complete with a classic Tahiti song playing in the background. Now, Egon, of course, realizes that this has all been one elaborate plan.
What created this house as a trap? To catch us.
Some quick thinking from Ray sees the Ghostbusters exit the house in a ball of fire, and then they even get to bust and capture the lion hedge bushes outside. The Ghostbusters arrive back to the firehouse, and oh my gozer, that can't be comfortable for those inside. We are then treated to a mini-game of hide-and-seek as the Ghostbusters look for Mrs. Rogers in the firehouse, only for Peter to get possessed.
Any sign of her yet, Peter?
No, but I think I'm very close to her now.
This leads to another altercation between Slimer and Precious. With Watt now possessing Peter, the plan, as mentioned before, is to release all the Spectres within the containment unit. As Peter's about to do so, this leads to Janine having the Scream Queen moment of the entire series.
Peter! No! Peter, don't do it!
I'm not Peter, you pitiful fools. I am the mighty Watt.
Meanwhile, Winston just straight up wants to blast Peter.
Okay, Watt, come on out. No!
But Egon and Ray, they have some hesitations.
There's a slim chance. If we set one thrower at Watt's exact frequency and the other at the electrometabolic frequency of Peter, we should be able to pull them apart.
Watt turns off the grid with Egon sounding so sad.
He did it.
A 30-second countdown begins to happen with Slimer straight up nut-kicking Precious. He kicked that ghost right in the nuts. Oh, play it again. Play it again. Alright, so the Ghostbusters are able to extract Watt from Peter's body, capturing it in the process. In doing so, the spooky home is no more, and Slimer gets to slime Peter. So you know, call it a day, everything is back to normal. And speaking of calling it a day, I'm going to call it a day because that is our review of Mrs. Rogers' Neighborhood. As I mentioned at the top of the video, if you'd like to check out this episode in its entirety, the official Ghostbusters YouTube channel is streaming it right now. We've got a link right down below in the description. And as I've already mentioned, I would like to thank Ghostbusters News Patreon member Jordan Hamilton for requesting today's episode. If there's an episode of Real Ghostbusters or Extreme Ghostbusters you'd like to request me to review, be sure to sign up to the Ghostbusters News Patreon page and send in your request. That's all I've got for you here right now. As always, be sure to subscribe to Ghostbusters News here on YouTube. Bust that bell notification icon to stay up to date with everything that's happening within the Ghostbusters world. If you would like to help out Ghostbusters News and get some pretty cool benefits in the process, we've got our Patreon page. Link to that can be found right down below in the description. And I will see everybody right back here next time.
Proton charge, you go run you extra. Put storage of the beast, hope you brought your checkbook. You might want a warranty in case it happens down the line. Everybody's going down in time. Remember, you are not alone. Got a problem that needs solving. Just pick up the phone. They'll answer, dial that number. Do it on your own. Not tonight, baby. You need the professionals. Yeah.
Pick up your phone and call the professionals. Ghostbusters.
Go! No one dies tonight. Run for your lives. Alright. Get